Fine. Let me go and open one notepad. And let me keep here. What is the agenda for today's classes? Let me go and keep here. What is the agenda for today's classes? In today's class, we'll go and discuss about introduction to Microsoft. Introduction to Microsoft Power Platform, right? So in today's class, in the next coming 60 minutes of time, we'll understand what type of software this Power Platform, what we can do with the help of this Power Platform software. And also we'll understand who will use the Power Platform software. And then we'll understand who will hire the Power Platform developers. The complete introduction to Microsoft Power Platform we'll discuss now in today's class, right? Fine. So now among all those, first let me keep here. First of all, I'm going to list out what are the different points we'll discuss now in today's class, guys. Let me list out the different points we'll go and cover. The first point in today's class is we'll discuss about what is Power Platform. The second point to understand now in today's class is what is meant by business applications. The next point to understand how to implement the business applications, using Power Platform software. How to implement the business applications using Power Platform. This is the third point to understand. How to implement the business applications with the help of Power Platform. And next, the fourth point to understand Power Platform architecture. Power Platform architecture. So what is the architecture of Microsoft Power Platform? Let me open the architecture, guys. Let me show you. This is not the one. Power Platform architecture. So this is what the Power Platform architecture. So we'll understand this Power Platform architecture by the end of this today's class. You'll come to know what is this architecture. We'll understand each and every point in this architecture by the end of this today's class. All right. So these are all the points which we'll go and discuss now in today's class. These are all the points we'll cover. Now, among all those, first let me start with what? Power Platform. Now try to understand what is the use of this Power Platform, guys. For now, at an high level, try to understand what we can do with the help of Power Platform. For now, at an high level, try to understand what is the use of Power Platform. Now try to understand, guys. Within the Power Platform, we can create the apps. Within the Power Platform, we can do what? We can create apps. And second point, within the Power Platform, we can create some websites. Next, we can create the chart boards. We can create what? Some chart board. And also within the Power Platform, we can do some automations. We can perform some automations. And also, Power Platform is used to store the data. It acts as one data source. And next, within the Power Platform, we are able to perform the data analysis. We're able to do what? Data analysis. So these are all the 6 things or the 6 components which we are going to implement the help of Power Platform software. So how to go and implement all this? What is an app? What is a website, chartboard, automation, data source, data analysis? What are all these things? And how we'll implement all those within the Power Platform, you'll be understanding in today's class, right? For now, just keep in mind at a high level what the Power Platform can do. These are the things the Power Platform can go and implement. And next, along with this, we'll understand 2 more points. The next point we'll understand, that is, who will use the Power Platform software. The next point we'll understand about what? Who will use the Power Platform? Let me keep here, guys. Who will use the Power Platform software? And along with this, we'll understand one more point. The next point we'll understand who will hire the Power Platform developers. Who will hire whom? Power Platform developers. So these are the points we'll go and discuss now in today's class, right? Fine. So now, among all those points, first let me start with who will use the Power Platform. and who will hide the Power Platform developers. These are all the points we'll cover now in today's class, guys. I'm listing out all the different points. We'll discuss each and every point in detail now. First, let me start with who will use the Power Platform and who will hide the Power Platform developers. Try to understand, guys. Who will use the Power Platform means, let us say, if there is any company, whatever the company it is, what the companies will do, the companies will do some business, as we know. Let's take well-known companies for us, guys. Let's take Amazon. Amazon is one company. They are doing what kind of business? E-commerce business. Let's take some other company like ICICI. Now, ICICI is one company. They are doing what business? Banking. Let's take some other company like Swiggy. Swiggy is one company. They are doing what business? They are doing some food business. So like this, if you take any company, companies will do what? They'll do some business. Now, let's take an example. Amazon company is there. Now, Amazon company is doing the e-commerce business. So do you people think that Amazon company directly will go and start doing the e-commerce business? Amazon company is doing the e-commerce business right now. So do we think that in the initial days, Amazon company directly will go and start doing the e-commerce business? Means no. So companies, they are not able to start doing the business directly, guys. So before going to start the business, now what the companies need to do here is, what the companies need to do. Companies need to go and implement some applications before going to start the business. Companies need to do what? They need to implement some applications. Now, what applications the companies need to implement before going to start the business? So companies need to go and implement what applications means? Business applications. What applications companies need to implement? They need to go and implement some business applications. Now, what are called as business applications? Okay, for now we understand, before going to start the business, what we come to know, companies need to implement some applications. Those applications are called as what? Business applications. Now, what are called as business applications? Business applications are nothing but what? Let me keep here, guys. What is meant by business applications means, if you take same Amazon company, any company, let's take Amazon as a reference. So before going to start the e-commerce business, I said that Amazon company need to implement what? Business applications. What are called as business applications means, let me keep here the examples, guys. Let's take apps. Amazon company will have some apps or not? Yes, app is one of the business application. Next, website. Amazon company will have the websites or not? Yes, website is one of the business application. And nowadays they are creating chatbots. In the previous days, there is no chatbot. Now they are creating the chatbots. So chatbot is also one of the business application. And next, Amazon company, they will do some automations. They will do what? Automations. So to do the automations, we need to have some other application. And next, Amazon company will have the data. If you are doing some business means, definitely will have some business data. So Amazon is doing the e-commerce business. So they'll have some business data. So they need to store their data at one place. So to store the data, they need to go and use what? Data source. Data source is one of the business application. And whatever the data you'll have, now you need to analyze the data. You need to do what? Analyze. I need to perform the data analysis. I need to do what? Data analysis. So these are all called as business applications, guys. If you take any company nowadays, if you take any company, well-known companies for us, if you take Amazon, Amazon company will have the app or not? Yes. Amazon company will have the websites or not? Yes, they'll have. Now they are creating the chatbots also. Recently they added. And Amazon company will do the automations or not? Yes, they do. Amazon company will store the data or not? Yes, they store. Amazon company will analyze the data or not? Yes, they'll analyze. Not only Amazon. If you take ICICI, same. ICICI company also will have all these business applications. If you take Swiggy, yes. If you take Zomato, any company must and should. If the company wants to start the business, then before going to start the business, companies need to go and implement what? Applications. What applications? Business applications. Now, what are called as business applications? These are all comes under the business applications, guys. Whatever the applications you are going to use in your business, those comes under where? Business application. App is one business application. Website is one of the application. Chatbot is one business application. You are doing automations. Automation is also one of the application in your business. So all these are called as what? Business applications. So if you want to start any business, before going to start the business, we understand companies need to implement what? Business applications. What are called as business applications? All these comes under the business applications, right? Okay. Now Next point, we need to understand how to implement these business applications. I want to implement them. I want to create an app. I want to create a website. I want to create one chatbot. So how we can implement them? So in order to go and implement all these business applications nowadays, what is the software the companies are using which software? Power Platform. So in order to go and implement all the business applications nowadays, companies are using the Power Platform software, right? So now we understand who will use the Power Platform. Who will use the Power Platform? As we know, if there is any company, if the company wants to start any business, then before going to start the business, companies need to implement what? Business applications. So to implement the business applications, companies are using which software? Power Platform software. So we understand who will use the Power Platform. Who will use it? These companies. Companies will use it. And also one more point we understand here. So we come to know Power Platform is used for what? We understand Power Platform is used for what? To implement the business applications. 2 points we understand. First point, we understand who will use the Power Platform. Companies will use it. Next, we understand Power Platform software is used for what? It is used to implement the business applications, right? Okay. And next, one more point we need to understand here. Now, who will hire the Power Platform developers? This is my second question. So for this question also, the answer will be same. Which company will use the Power Platform software? Which company will use what? Power Platform software. The same, sorry, which company using the Power Platform software to implement what? Business applications. The same company will go and hire whom? Power Platform developers. So which company is using the Power Platform software to implement the business applications? The same company will go and hire the Power Platform developers. So who will hire the Power Platform developers? Means companies will hire them. And next, one more point we need to understand. So why these companies are hiring the Power Platform developers? Why they need to hire them? As we know, why the companies are hiring the Power Platform developers means because Power Platform developers need to go and work with which software? Power Platform software. With the help of Power Platform software, Power Platform developers will go and implement what? Business applications. Once after implementing the business applications, with the help of the business applications, by taking those business applications, the companies will start doing what? Business. Companies will start doing what? Business. So this is what we understand who will use the Power Platform and also who will hire the Power Platform developers. Guys, in detail, completely we understand about these 2 points. So from here, we come to know. So nowadays, let me keep on point, guys. We come to know that nowadays, companies are using the Power Platform software to implement the business applications. What we understand? Nowadays, companies are using the Power Platform software to implement the business applications. Right. Okay. We understand nowadays companies are using this Power Platform software to implement all these business applications. Okay, fine, good. And next, from here, we need to understand 2 more points, guys. What we need to understand from here, I said that before going to start the business, what the companies need to do before going to start the business? Companies need to do what? I said that companies need to go and implement some business applications. It is must and should. Now, why? We need to have a question now. Why the companies need to implement the business applications before going to start the business? What's the need? What is the need of these business applications? And second point, we need to understand how to implement these business applications using Power Platform. These 2 points we need to understand. So let me go and keep here. First point, we need to understand about what? What is the need of business applications? What is the need of business applications? What is the need of business applications? Second point, we need to understand how to implement the business applications using Power Platform software. How to implement the business applications using Power Platform software. These 2 points we need to understand now, right? Fine. So first, let me go and discuss about what is the need of business applications. Why companies need to go and why these companies need to go and implement the business applications before going to start the business. What is the need of them? Let me explain, guys. Simple. What is the need of business applications means? Because business applications are used to implement, these are used to implement or these are used to implement or streamline the business process of an organization. Simple. What is the need of business applications means business applications are used to implement or streamline. Now, what do you want to streamline? I want to streamline the business process. I want to streamline what? Business process of an organization. So every organization means company. So every organization will have some business process, guys. There is no doubt. Let's take Amazon. Amazon company, they'll have some business process or not? Yes, Amazon company, they'll have some business process. If you take ICICI company will have some other business process or not? Yes. Even if you take Swiggy company also will have what? Business process. Every company will have their own business process, guys. Now, I want to go and implement or streamline. What I need to do? I want to streamline what? Business process of the organization. So if you want to go and implement or streamline the business process of any organization, then must and should we need to go and use what? Business applications. With the help of the business applications only, we can streamline the business process of the organizations. Without having these business applications, we are not able to streamline the business process, guys. So to implement or to streamline the business process of any organization, we need to go and use the business applications, right? We understand what is the need of business applications. And from here, we need to understand one more point. I said that business applications are for what? To streamline what? Business process. Now, what is meant by business process here? We need to understand one more point. What is meant by business process, guys? Business process will involve in multiple activities, tasks, and rules that are used to implement the process of an organization. That are used to implement the process of an organization. So now try to understand what I'm telling here. Business process will involve in what? Multiple activities, tasks, and rules. So if you are doing some business, in the business, we'll do some multiple activities or not? Yes, we'll do some multiple tasks. While doing these activities or tasks, we need to follow some rules. So by using what? You can implement these multiple activities, tasks, and rules means with the help of the business applications only. By using these business applications only, we can implement these multiple activities, tasks, or rules that are used to implement the process of an organization. So we understand what is the need of business applications and also what is meant by business process. And next point we need to understand here how to implement this business applications using Power Platform. How to implement these business applications using Power Platform, right? So now try to understand, guys. Before going to discuss how to implement the business applications using Power Platform, we need to understand one more point here. Before understanding how to implement the business applications using Power Platform, we need to understand one point. What is that point here is? While implementing the business applications, while implementing what? Business applications, there is one process we need to follow. There is one process we need to follow. It is not recommended to implement the business applications by your own. So you need to follow one process. That process we'll call it as what? Business applications process. Let me mention that point here, guys. So while implementing the business applications, we understand there is one process we need to follow. That process we'll call it as business applications process. Business applications process. Right? Fine. Okay. So now what is that process, guys? Let me go and explain. So let me go and open the architecture of business applications process. Let me open the architecture. What is the architecture of business applications process? This is what the architecture. Business applications process architecture. Now, if you want to implement the business applications for any company, you need to go and follow this process. Let me explain what is this business applications process, guys. Now try to understand, when we are implementing the business applications for any company, first they'll start with what? First we'll start with front end, guys. Any company, if you are the Power Platform developer, if you want to start implementing the applications for your client, then first they'll start with what? Front end applications. While implementing the business applications, first we need to start with front end. So front end applications means what? Front end applications is nothing but apps, websites, and then chatbot. These three will come from the front end. Front end means whatever the applications the customers are able to see, customers are able to see with their eyes, those comes on the front end, guys. Apps can see the customers or not. Yes. Website is also customers or not. They can see the websites can see the customers. Chatbot also customers can see. So whatever the applications the customers are able to see with their eyes, those comes on the front end. So once after implementing the front end, next second step is what? Second, we need to go and implement what? Data sources. Second step is what? Data sources. Now what's meant by data sources? Data sources is nothing but the place where the companies will store their business data, guys. Simple. What is the use of this data sources means? The place where the companies will store the business data. And next, once after implementing the data sources, next third step is what? Automations. Next third, we need to go and implement some automations. Third step is for automation. So now, definitely if there is a company, the company will do some automations nowadays, guys. So third step is for what? Automations. And next, finally, the fourth step is what? Finally, the fourth step is data analysis. Finally, the fourth step is what? Data analysis. Let me keep here. The fourth step is data analysis. Data analysis means what? Showing the data in the form of visuals or in the form of report. So if you see, these are all the visuals, guys. These are all the visuals. So showing the data in the form of visuals or in the form of reports will call it as data analysis. Showing the data in the form of reports or in the form of visuals will call it as data analysis. So these are the four steps involved in this. So keep in mind, while implementing the business applications, there is one process we need to follow. That process is called as business applications process. In the business applications process, first we need to start with what? Front end. Front end applications means what? Apps, websites, and then chatbot. Next, once after front end, second we'll go and implement what? Data sources. Step 2 is for data sources. Once after implementing the data sources, next third step is for what? Automations. Once after implementing automations, finally the fourth step is what? Data analysis. That means showing the data in the form of visuals or in the form of reports. So we understand this business applications process is a how many step process? How many steps is involved here? 4 steps. We understand business applications process is a 4-step process, guys, right? Business applications process is a 4-step process. Right. Okay. In these 4 steps, first always we need to start with what? Front end. Second preference is for data source. Next automation. Next data analysis. This is the process we need to follow, guys. Started with front end. But instead of going with this process, let's say you want to start with the data analysis first. Initially, first of all, you want to start with data analysis. So it is possible to start with data analysis initially means no, it is not possible, guys, because this data analysis will depends on the data sources. Data analysis depends on what? Data sources. If you want to do the data analysis, must and should we need to have the data sources. Okay, if you have the data sources, then you can do the data analysis means again, no, it is not possible, guys. Why? Because this data sources depends on what? Front-end applications. And also this automations, sometimes it depends on the data sources, sometimes it depends on the front-end applications. So now what we understand, whatever the 4 steps is there, these 4 steps are connected with each other internally. Each and every step is connected with another step internally. So how these 4 steps are connected with each other internally and why they are connected, so you'll understand, guys. I'll discuss every point, right? So for now, keep in mind, business applications process is a how many step process? 4-step process. In these 4 steps, Each and every step is connected with each other internally. And also we need to start with front end. Second, data sources. Next, automation. Next, data analysis. Why we need to go for this process? You'll come to know. Because these 4 steps are having some link. How they are connected with each other, why they are connecting, you'll come to know. Right? Fine. Okay. For now, we understand business applications process is a how many step process? Business applications process is a 4-step process, guys. Let me keep that point here. Business applications process is a 4-step process. Now, what are the 4 steps involved in this? Step 1, front-end applications, correct. And next step 2, data sources, correct. And next step 3, automations, correct. Finally, step 4, data analysis, correct. Fine. So these are the 4 steps involved in this case. Now, let me start discussing what is meant by front-end applications, what is meant by data sources, what's meant by automation, and what's meant by data analysis. And also we'll understand how these 4 steps are connected with each other. This data analysis depends on what? Data sources. This data sources depends on what? Front end. This automations, it depends on what? Again, data sources. So how these 4 steps are connected with each other internally. So you'll be understanding now, guys, right? Now, let me start implementing. Now we'll start implementing this 4-step business application process. Now, in this, already I said that first always we'll start with what? Front end. So front end means what? Apps, websites, and then chatbots. So these are the front end applications. These 3 will come under the front end. Now, I am ready with front end, guys. So now try to understand one more point. In order to go and understand this 4-step business applications process in a better way, to understand this process. So let's take one of the company as a reference, guys. So either you can take Amazon, either you can take ICICI, Swiggy, Zomato, Instamart, any company, guys. You can take any company. So to understand this concept in a better way, what I'm doing here is I'm going to take the Swiggy company as a reference, which is a well-known company for all of you people, guys. I think Swiggy company will know everybody, right? So we'll take the example of a Swiggy company to understand this 4-step business applications process in a better way. So keep in mind, now we are implementing this business applications process for which company? Swiggy. So Swiggy company is doing what business? Food business. Keep in mind this point. We are implementing this business 4-step business applications process for Swiggy. Swiggy is doing some food business. Now, Swiggy company is ready with front end. Swiggy company is ready with what? Front end applications. So if the company is ready with front end, then slowly they can start doing the business case. Slowly they can start doing, let's like promoting their business or testing their applications, how they are working. Slowly they can start doing the business, right? Okay. As Swiggy company is ready with front end, slowly they can start doing the business. They are selling the food items to the customers. Let's take I am the customer or you are the customers. So you want to buy some food item from the Swiggy. To buy the food item from the Swiggy as a customer, we need to do what? We need to download and install what? Swiggy app in your mobile phone, right? We need to go and download and install the Swiggy app in your mobile phone. Once after downloading and install the Swiggy app in your mobile phone, next we'll do what? We'll just go and place an order, right? Right. We'll go and place an order. Now, once the order is placed in the Swiggy app, in the next 30 minutes to 1 hour, hardly it will take 1 hour, guys. Once the order is placed, within 30 minutes to 1 hour, Swiggy company will go and deliver that food item to that customer, right? Correct. So this is what we know as a customer. You are the customer, I am also the customer. So what we know as a customer, we know that we are placing an order in the app. Once the order is placed, in the next 30 minutes to 1 hour, Swiggy company is going to deliver that food item to us. This is what we know as a customer, right? But we need to understand one point here, guys. So you are going to work as a Power Platform developer or a Power Apps developer. So as a Power Platform developer, we need to understand one point here. What we need to understand here is, whenever the customer is placing an order in the app, whenever the customer places an order in the app, so what the customer is doing means, if let's take I'm the customer, if I place an order means, what I am doing means I am generating some business data for Swiggy company. Let's say I'm placing some food item. Let's say I'm placing biryani in the Swiggy. Whenever I place an order, what is happening in the backend means I am generating some business data for Swiggy company. What kind of business data I will generate for Swiggy company whenever the order is placed? Let me give an example, guys. We'll generate the orders data. Like orders data means what is the order ID? We'll have an order ID or not for every order. Yes, we'll have the orders data. Orders data, nothing but order ID. And what is the sales price of that order? What is the amount we need to pay for that order? What's the selling price of that order? And also by selling that food item, what is the profit the Swiggy company will get? Yes, obviously Swiggy company will get some profits. So what the profit the Swiggy company will get? We'll generate the profits data. And also we'll generate food items. Which food item I'm placing an order? And also we'll generate what restaurants related data. What is the restaurant preparing that food? Which restaurant is preparing the food? And also we'll generate what customers related data, like who is the customer placing an order, customer name, customer ID, customer email address, customer mobile number, delivery address, and also we'll generate the order date and time. So like this, we'll generate some lot of business data. Guys, this is the business data which we know, right? So whenever what we understand now, whenever the customer places an order, what is happening in the back end? The customer is generating some business data for Swiggy company. This kind of business data the customers will generate. This data is called as orders data. Orders data is also called as what? Business data. Orders data is also called as what? Business data. Now, where the Swiggy company will store that orders data. Let's say I'm placing an order, right? My orders data, Swiggy company will store in some place. Where the Swiggy company will store the orders data, or we are calling it as business data. Now, where the Swiggy company will store the orders data or the business data? Correct. Whenever the order is placed in the app, try to understand this. The complete details of that order, will comes into where? Data sources. Automatically it will come, guys. You don't want to go and enter it manually. Whenever the order is placed in the app, automatically the complete details of that order will comes into the data sources. Now, data sources contains what? Business data. Data sources contains what? Business data. Actually, it is orders data. Orders data is called as business data. So now we understand whenever the customer places an order in the app, the complete details of that order comes into where? Data sources. In the data sources, what the companies will store? Business data. So in which format the companies will store the business data in the data sources? Tabular format. Companies will store the business data in the data sources in which format? Tables. That is in the form of columns and rows. So for now, we understand 2 points, guys. One is front end. That is nothing but once after creating an app, whenever the order is placed in the app, the complete details of that order comes into where? Data sources. Data sources contains what? Business data. In which format the companies will store the business data? Tabular format. We understand the step 1 and step 2, right? And next step 3 is for what? Automation. Now, automation is nothing but, let me give an example, guys. Sending the automated emails to the customer, or sending the automated messages, automated text messages, or getting the approvals, auto approvals, getting the approvals. This we can do using automation. So, but we need to understand here where the Swiggy company will do the automations, where the Swiggy company will go and perform some automations. Now try to understand, guys. If you observe, whenever you place an order in the app, once the order is placed successfully, you people will get one notification or an email from the Swiggy company or not? Swiggy company will send one confirmation email or not? Yes, they'll send. So what is the subject of that email? Your order is placed successfully. Thanks for placing the order. And in the body of that email, you can see which food item you placed the order, what is the amount you need to pay, to which address it is going to pay. Some information about that order. They'll give some confirmation email or a notification to the user. When they will send that email to the user, whenever the order is placed successfully. Now, do you think that whatever the emails or the notifications the Swiggy company is sending to the customers once the order is placed, those mails are sent by the humans? Yes or no? Whatever the emails or the notifications the customers are receiving once the order is placed, do you think that those emails will be sent by the humans or not? Correct? No. Those are not sent by the humans, guys. Those are system generated. So whatever the emails the Swiggy company is sending to the customers, those are not sent by the humans. Those are automated emails. Now, why the Swiggy company is sending the emails to the customers automatically with the help of some systems or softwares? Why they are not using the humans to send that email? Because there are two major reasons, guys. What are those two major reasons? Let's take in the Swiggy app, how many customers will place the orders just for one day in complete in India? Let's take in India, major cities like Hyderabad, Chennai, Mumbai, Bangalore, Kolkata, Pune. Let's take major cities. How many customers will place the orders just for one day? Let's take some average number. Thousands. Thousands of orders can be placed just for one day, guys. There is no doubt. So let's take some number here. I'm taking some number. Let's take 50,000 customers are placing the orders just for one day. How many customers? 50,000 customers. Now, for all the 50,000 customers, whenever the order is placed, the Swiggy company need to send one email or not? Yes. How many mails they need to send to the customers just for one day? 50,000 mails. Not only sending an email to the customer case, they will send one email to the restaurant also. Which restaurant is going to need to prepare that food? They need to send one email to whom? Restaurant also. So 50,000 emails to the customers, 50,000 emails to the restaurants. So how many mails just for one day? 1 lakh. 1 lakh mails just for one day. Now tell me, it is possible to send the 1 lakh mails per day with the help of humans? Humans can able to send the 1 lakh mails per day? Correct. No. Humans are not able to send 1 lakh mails per day, guys. It is not possible. Let's say when Swiggy company started the business for the first time, so maybe they decided, let us assume, guys, they decided to do this work, sending 1 lakh mails per day with the help of humans only. They decided to do the work with the help of humans. So what the Swiggy company is doing here? So they are hiring some big manpower. Let's take they are hiring 30,000 employees just to send the mails. How many employees they are hiring? 30. Let us assume they are hiring 30,000 employees just to send the emails. Maybe 30,000 employees can send 1 lakh mails per day. Correct. Maybe they can do. But one more point we need to understand here. So when the Swiggy company will send the email to the customer, whenever the customer placed an order in the app, once the order is placed, immediately within the fraction of seconds, guys, when the Swiggy company will send the email, in fraction of seconds, hardly it will take 4 to 5 seconds, not more than that. Now tell me, this 30,000 employees, they can send the email to the customer in 4 to 5 seconds by understanding who is the customer placed the order, what is the order the customer is placed, what is the food item, what is the amount, what is the discount, what is the total profit, what is the total discount, and who is the customer placed an order, customer name, customer ID, customer email ID, customer mobile number, customer delivery address. So within 4 to 5 seconds, even though you have the 30,000 employees, these 30,000 employees, they can send that email. They need to understand that orders data, and then they need to compose that mail, and they need to send it. So this, even though we have 30,000 employees is there, they can do this work in 4 to 5 seconds? No, it is not possible, guys. This 30,000 employees also, they are not able to do it. So every company will have this type of work. It is called as repeated work. Every company will have what? Some repeated work process, guys. So now if you want to do this repeated work process, with the help of humans, no, it is not possible. Humans are not able to do this repeated work process in the real time. So now in order to go and do this repeated work process, companies are using what? They are using some systems. They are doing the same work with the help of systems, like some softwares. So if you are doing some work with the help of systems or the softwares, then we'll call it as what? Automation. So this is where the Swiggy company will do the automations. Once the order is placed in the app, what it will do? Once the order is placed successfully, the data comes into the data sources, right? So whenever the data comes here in the data sources, immediately by taking the data as a reference, automatically Swiggy company will send one email. When the Swiggy company is sending an email, once the order is placed, within 1 or 2 seconds, the data comes here into the data source. Once the data comes here, within 2 to 3 seconds, by taking that data as a reference, they'll go and send one automated email to the customers. So this is where the Swiggy company will go into the automations, right? And next, one more, data analysis. Data analysis means what? Data analysis is nothing but simple guess, showing the data in the form of visuals or in the form of reports. So now, if you want to create the visuals or the reports to perform the data analysis, first of all, we need to have, to create the visuals and reports, first of all, we need to have what? Data. So where the companies will store the data? Correct. As we know that companies will store the data in the data sources. In the data sources, companies will store the data in the form of what? Tables. So if you have the data in the form of tables, then it is not possible to analyze the triggers. Let's take in this table, we'll have the orders data, right? So let's take I'm having 1 million orders data is there. Now I want to understand that orders data. So if you have the data in the form of tables, then it is not possible to analyze the data case. So to analyze the data, what we are doing, whatever the data is there in the form of tables in the data sources, I am going to show that same data in the form of what? Visuals or reports. But by taking the data from the data sources, which is there in the form of tables, showing that same data in the form of what? Visuals or reports. Next, by seeing these visuals or reports, what the companies will do? They will analyze the data. By seeing these visuals or reports, companies will do what? Analyze the data. Analyzing the data is nothing but what? Data analysis. If you are analyzing your business data, means you are doing what? Data analysis there. So to perform the data analysis or to create the visuals or reports, first of all, we need to have what? Data. Where the companies will store the data? Data sources. So without having the data sources, you are not able to create the visuals or reports. Without creating the visuals or reports, you are not able to analyze your business data, right? So this is what's meant by data analysis. Let me show you one report also. I'll show you one report, guys, where you'll understand in a better way. Let me open one report. So I am having the same orders data, guys, like how Swiggy, Zomato, Amazon, Flipkart will have some orders data. I'm taking the same type of data here. So to understand the concept in a better way. So if you see, I'm having one table here. When I go to the table here, there is one table, orders table. As I said that we'll have the orders data for Swiggy company. When I go to the orders table, here we have how many orders data? There is total number of orders is 9,994, near 10,000. 10,000 orders data is there in this table. 10,000 orders data will have. Now here we have the different columns like order ID, order date, shipping date, ship mode, customer ID, customer name. So like this, we'll have some data. So we'll have the columns like sales column, quantity, discount, and profit. Now here, let's take my requirement. I want to understand reason wise what is the sales case. Just one simple understanding, simple thing. I want to understand what? There is a column called reason column. So we have the different reasons here. Now I want to know which reason is doing what sales. Now by seeing this reason column, by seeing this sales column, you can understand which reason is doing what sales. No, it is not possible. So if the data is there in the form of tables, it is not possible to analyze the data case. So to analyze the data and to take the business to the next level, what we'll do, whatever the data is there in the form of table here, we'll show the same data in the form of what? Visuals or in the form of reports. So that's what I'm doing here. Whatever the data is there in the orders table here, the same data I'm showing here in the form of visuals. Let me go here. And this is one report case. This report name is sales report, right? Now, in this report, easily you can understand quantity. Quantity means total number of orders, total number of products they are selling. How many products they sell still now? 38,000 products they sold. What is the sales they did? 2.30 million. Total profit, number of orders placed, total discounts they're providing. And here we can see sales by category. Which category is doing what sales? If you see here clearly, it is showing by seeing this visual, easily you can understand which category is doing the highest sales is the category. What's the category name? Technology. What is the sales it is doing, right? Now, when I hold the mouse also, it will show the same information here, guys, in the tooltip. So it is showing the category name is technology, what's the sales, and percentage of sales also, right? So like this, here I'm having one more visual, a donut chart. In this donut chart, I'm showing the sales by region. region-wise sales. Now, by seeing this visual, easily you can understand which region is doing the highest sales. This is the one. What is that region? West. Which is doing the least sales? This is the one. What's that region? South. So you can understand the business data in fraction of seconds or not? Yes. So like this, nowadays, what the companies are doing to analyze the business data and to take the better business decisions, whatever the data is there in the form of tables, they are showing the data in the form of what? Visuals or reports. Now, by seeing these visuals, these are all the visuals, guys. These are all the visuals. A group of visuals will call it as what? A group of visuals, this is called as report, right? Now, by seeing this report, what the company will do? They will analyze the data to take better decisions. So nowadays, most of the companies are preferred to analyze their business data in the visuals or in the form of reports to understand. Because why? Because to understand the business data in very less time and to take better business decisions. So this is what is meant by data analysis. Fine. Okay. Now we understand what is this 4-step business applications process. We understand what is meant by front end. We understand what's meant by data sources. We understand what's meant by automations and also data analysis. Now, whatever I discussed here, let me mention those points here, guys, right? First, let me keep what? Front-end applications. Now, try to understand what is meant by front-end applications. Front-end applications is nothing but what? Correct. Is nothing but creating the apps, comma, websites, comma, chatbots. Right. And next, data sources. Now, I said that what's meant by data sources? Place where the companies will store their business data. The place where the companies will store their business data is known as data sources. The place where the companies will store their business data will call it as data sources. And next, automation. I said that automation is nothing but what? Automation is nothing but doing certain repeated work automatically without any human interactions. If you are doing some work without any human interactions, then we'll call it as what? Automation. And next, finally, data analysis. I said that data analysis means what? Showing the data in the form of visuals or reports. Let me keep that point here. The process of converting the business data into actionable information. Actionable information means what? Visuals or reports, guys. Now, why I'm calling this visuals or reports as an actionable information? Why I'm calling it as an actionable information? Because by seeing these visuals or reports, companies will take some actions, guys. Let me give an example. Let's take here, by seeing this visual, we can understand which region is doing less sales? South region. So by seeing this visual, immediately what the company will do? They will take an action. What action? Immediately they will conduct one immediate meeting with the South region sales manager. Every region will have the sales managers. They'll conduct one meeting with the South region sales manager. They'll come to know what the reasons behind it, why you are doing less sales, what the problems you are facing. So top level management can know those points. So they're taking an action or not? Yes, they're taking an action by seeing this visual. And also, if you see here, there is one more visual where I am showing the profit by subcategory. Subcategory is profit. If you see, there are 3 subcategories where they are getting the negative profits. Negative profits, guys, if you observe. By seeing this visual, what the company will do? Immediately, they will go and stop selling these products. Why? If they sell, they are getting negative profits. Then why we need to sell them? They'll stop it immediately. That means they are taking an action or not? Yes. So by seeing these visuals or reports, as companies will take some actions, that's why I'm calling it as what? Actionable information. So this is all about this 4-step business applications, guys. Right? Fine. Okay. So now we understand what is this 4-step business applications process? Now, the next point we need to discuss here, how to implement this 4-step business applications process with the help of Power Platform. Now we need to understand how to implement the business applications process. This is the business applications process. How many steps it is? 4 steps. How to implement this business applications process with the help of Power Platform. We need to understand this point, right? Fine. So first, let me go and keep here. What is the use of Power Platform, guys? First of all, let me keep here. What is Power Platform? Let me go and keep here some definition. What is Power Platform? And try to understand, guys. As we come to know already, Power Platform is used for what? To implement the business applications process, right? Let me keep that point here. Microsoft Power Platform is used to implement the business applications process of an organization. It is used to implement the business applications process of an organization. For every organization, they will have some business process. I want to implement that business process now. To implement that business process, we'll use what? Power Platform. Now, how to implement it? Now, let me go and start implementing this business applications process using Power Platform, guys. Now, try to understand. Before going to start discussing how to implement this business applications process with the help of Power Platform, before this, we need to understand one more point here. So that is Power Platform architecture. Now, what is the architecture of Microsoft Power Platform? Let me open the Power Platform architecture here. So this is what the Power Platform architecture is. So first point, as we know already, Power Platform is used for what? It is used to implement the 4-step business applications process. We know Power Platform is used to implement the 4-step business application process. This is the first point. Second point we need to understand here, Power Platform, it is not a single software, guys. I think most of the people will have in mind Power Platform is one software. No, Power Platform is not a single software. Power Platform means it is a collection of softwares. There are different softwares in the Power Platform. What are those and what is the use of the softwares? You'll understand. For now, keep in mind, Power Platform is used for what? To implement the business applications process. Second point, Power Platform is not a single software. It is a collection of softwares, right? Fine, okay. Now, with the help of Power Platform, I want to start the business applications process, guys. In the business application process, as we know, first we'll start with what? Front end. This is the first step. Now, to implement the front end applications, we'll have the different softwares here. What are those? One is Power Apps. Second is what? Power Pages. Next one is what? Power Virtual Agent. These are the 3 softwares we'll have to implement the front-end applications. Next, step 2 is what? Data sources. Step 2 is what? Data sources. Now, if you want to store the business data within the Power Platform, if you want to store your business data within the Power Platform, then go and use what? Dataverse. What is this Dataverse? Dataverse is an inbuilt data storage software in the Power Platform case. If you want to store the business data within the Power Platform itself, go and use Dataverse. But not only Dataverse, this Power Platform will allow us to store the data in the different data sources also, like SQL Server, SharePoint, Oracle, MySQL, Excel, CSV, SAP HANA, Dynamic 365. So like this, it will support almost all this. Not 1 or 2 data sources. It will support hundreds and thousands of data sources to store the data. But what is the inbuilt? Inbuilt data storage software is what? Dataverse, correct. Within the Power Platform, if you want to store your business data, go and use Dataverse. Otherwise, even you can use SQL Server, SharePoint, Oracle, Excel, CSV, Dynamic, any other data sources also you can use, right? And next, third one, to do the automation. Next step is what? Automations. Now, to do the automations, we'll have another software. What's that software? Power Automate. To do the automations, we'll have one software called Power Automate. And next, finally, data analysis is the fourth step. Now to perform the data analysis, we'll have one software. What's that software? Power BI. Microsoft Power BI. Power BI is used for what? Power BI is used to create the visuals or the reports, right? So now we understand Power Platform is not a single software. Power Platform is a collection of softwares. These are the collection of softwares we'll have. To implement the front end, there are three different softwares is there. So to store the data, there are different data sources where it will supposed to store the data. But inbuilt is Dataverse. Now to do the automations, we'll use what? Power Automate. To do the data analysis, that means to create the visuals or reports, go and use what? Power BI, right? So now we understand Power Platform is not a single software. Power Platform is a collection of softwares. So let me go and keep that point here, guys. As we understand, Power Platform is not a single software. Power Platform is a collection of softwares. So now what are the different softwares we'll have on the Power Platform? Let me list out all those, guys. One is Power Apps. Next, I'll keep here Power Automate, Power BI. For now, let me keep here Power BI. Next, I'll go with Power Pages. Next, Power Virtual Agent. And next, Dataverse. These are the different softwares we'll have. How many softwares is there? 6 softwares we'll have. Now, with the help of this collection of softwares in the Power Platform, now we'll do what? With the help of this collection of softwares in the Power Platform, we'll go and implement this 4-step business applications process. Let me start implementing this. How we'll go and implement. Let me start with front end. Let me start with what? Front end. In the front end, first let me go and implement what? Apps. Now, if you want to go and create the apps, go and use which software? Power Apps. Let me keep here, guys. What is the use of this Power Apps means? Power Apps is used to create the apps or forms within the Power Platform. Within the Power Platform, if you want to create the apps or the forms, then go and use what? Power Apps. And next, I want to create the websites. To create the websites, go and use what? Power Pages. So what is the use of this Power Pages means? It is used to create Power Pages is used to create the secured web pages. We don't call it as websites here. We'll call it as web pages in the Power Platform. In the Power Platform terminology, we don't call it as websites. We will call it as web pages. And next, to create the chart boards, go and use what? Power Virtual Agent. What is the use of this Power Virtual Agent? As we understand, it is used to create what? Chart boards. Let me keep that point here, guys. Power Virtual Agent is used to create the AI chartboard. It is used to create what? The AI chartboards. Chartboard means what, guys? It is just like a customer support. It is just like what? Customer support. That's all. So I think most of you people know what is meant by chartboard. So if you have any question, if let's say you placed an order in Amazon or Flipkart, you have some issues with the order. So you are not able to call to the customer care directly nowadays. So there is an option called Chat with Us. So that Chat with Us is called as a chartboard. So to create that type of chartboards, we'll use what? Power Virtual Agent. And next, second step is data sources. Now, what is the data storage software in the Power Platform? Dataverse, correct. Let me go and keep here. What is the use of this Dataverse means? Dataverse is a database software. It is a database software which is used to store the it is used to store the business data within the Power Platform. If you want to store the business data within the Power Platform, go and use what? Dataverse. And next, I want to do some next step is automations. To do the automations, go and use what? Power Automate, guys. So Power Automate. So now what is Power Automate? Power Automate is used for what? Power Automate is an automation software which is used to automate the repeated work process. So now try to understand, guys. As I said that every company will have what? I said that every company will have some repeated work process. Now I want to automate that repeated work process. I want to automate the repeated work process. To automate that work process, we need to have what? Automation software. What's that software I'm using here? Power BI. So Power BI is an automation software which is used to automate what? Repeated work process. And next, finally, data analysis. Now to perform the data analysis, go and use which software? Power BI. What is the use of Power BI? Power BI is a data analysis or data analytics software which is used to analyze the business data. Simple. Power BI is which software? Data analytics. We can call it as data analytics, data analysis. Both are fine, guys. Anyone is the same. You can call it as data analysis or data analytics. So Power BI is a data analytics software which is used for what? Analyze the business data. Where the companies will store the business data? Data sources. Whatever the data is there in the data sources, I want to analyze this business data. To analyze that business data, we'll use what? Power BI. With the help of Power BI, by taking this business data as a reference, we'll create what? Visuals or reports. By seeing that visuals or reports, we'll do what? Data analysis. So this is how we can implement this business applications process with the help of this collection of softwares. Now we understand with the help of this collection of softwares, we are able to implement this 4-step business applications process or not? Yes. So with the help of this collection of softwares in the Power Platform, we are able to implement the 4-step business applications process of the organizations. And also one more point, whatever the 6 softwares I mentioned here and their usages, I mentioned the same here, guys. I mentioned the same here. In the beginning of the session, if you observe, I said that Power Platform is used for what? Can create the apps. To create the apps, go and use what? Power Apps. And I said that we can create the websites. Websites is used for what? To create the websites, go and use what? Power Pages. To create the chatbots, go and use what? Power Virtual Agent. To do the automations, go and use what? Power Automate. To store the data, we'll use what? Dataverse. To perform the data analysis, go and use what? Power BI. So whatever the 6 points I mentioned here in the beginning of this class, the same points I'm mentioning here or not? Yes. So this is all about what is Power Platform, the complete introduction to Power Platform. So I done with the session. So I'll take the questions. Before going to take the questions, please make a note. Please make a note. So I'll copy something here. To write everything, it will take some lot of time. Let me copy it, guys. Let me copy and paste it. I'll just copy and paste it from here to here. Just copy. Paste it. Just 1 second, online people. Give me 1 minute. Fine, guys. Sorry for disturbance. So now make a note. Make a note. So today is the demo that to consider today's class as an introduction class or a demo. Now when the new batch will start, guys. So the new batch will start from tomorrow. That is of 3rd of December. New batch will start from tomorrow, 3rd December. That is on Wednesday. So from tomorrow onwards, we'll start the new batch. And batch timings will be evening 8 to 9 p.m. What's the batch timings? Evening 8 to 9 p.m. So today is the demo I'm taking for morning 11 o'clock. But from tomorrow onwards, we'll start the new batch. So from tomorrow onwards, the batch timings will be evening 8 to 9 p.m. This is the batch timings, guys. From tomorrow onwards, every day, the class will start at 8 o'clock. We'll wind up the class by 9 p.m. 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. is the class timing. From tomorrow onwards, we'll start the new batches, right? And next point, coming 2 more classes are free. Coming 2 more classes are free of cost. You don't want to pay even registration amount also to us, guys. So you have the access to attend the 3 free classes. How many free classes? 3 free classes. Today is the class 1. Coming 2 more classes. Tomorrow, Wednesday and Thursday, 3rd and 4th of December, you can attend the classes for free. So here, coming 2 more classes, what I'll discuss. In the coming 2 more classes, we'll discuss practicals. So practically at a high level, how the Power Platform softwares will work, I will show you. So in today's class, we haven't discussed even 1 point practical case. I'm showing every point critically in today's class. So what I'll do in the next coming 2 to 3 classes means, I'll show you practically at a high level, how we'll go and implement this business application process. I will show you how to go and create an app. And then I will show you from the Power Apps, how to submit the data to the data sources. And then by taking the data as a reference, how to do the automations. And also by taking the data from the data sources, how we'll create the visuals or reports. So this 4-step business applications process, practically I will show you how we'll go and implement. Practical at a high level, we'll understand how to implement this 4-step business applications process. So as it is free of cost, don't miss them. So try to attend the coming 2 more free classes where we'll get some practical knowledge. So to attend those coming 2 more classes, online people, you can use the same link. Whatever the link you are using today's class, use that same link to attend the next coming 2 more classes, right? Fine. So make a note, continuation of today's class is on when? Tomorrow. We'll start the new batch. At what time? 8 to 9 p.m. Fine. And next point, once after completion of today's class, you'll be receiving one email, guys. In that mail, you'll get what? You'll be getting the today's class notepad. You'll be getting what? Today's class notepad. I'll share this class notes with you. Complete class notes, I will share it with you. You can take it as a reference. And also I'll share what? Recorded video. Today's class video also I will share. And also we'll share what? Course content, course curriculum, guys. So I think all of you is with the content. If not, I will share the content again anyway. So this is the course curriculum. This is the course content. I clearly listed what I'm going to discuss in our upcoming classes. So I'll request you people, go and walk through this content once. Go and walk through the content once so that you will come to know what the topics we are going to discuss in our coming sessions, right? Fine. So next, how many days the duration, course duration? 2 months, daily 1 hour. Monday to Friday will be the classes. Mostly we don't have the Saturdays classes, Saturday or Sunday. Weekdays, 2 months is the course duration. Okay, within 2 months, we'll complete the course, guys. There is no doubt in that. Even after completion of the course, you have the access to attend the live classes. Live classes is for how many months? 6 months from the date of joining us. So within 2 months, we'll complete the course, but we'll allow the students to attend the live classes for 6 months. Because keeping in mind multiple reasons from the students' point of view, there are few students where they are not attending the classes. They are stopping the attending the classes in between. So keeping in mind, so all the reasons from the students' point of view, will provide the access to attend the live classes for 6 months. So it is your responsibility to complete attending the live sessions within 6 months, guys, right? So, and next, I said that 2 months is the course duration. In this 2 months, what the skills you will be learning, guys? The skills you are going to learn here is Power Apps, Power Automate. These two are the major skills. Power Apps and Power Automate we'll discuss from basics to advanced. From basics to advanced expert level, we'll discuss about both Power Apps and Power Automate. Along with Power Apps and Power Automate, we'll discuss some SharePoint concepts and Dataverse concepts, which are going to be used in the Power Apps and Power Automate curriculum, which are required for us. All those concepts I will cover in the SharePoint and also Dataverse. So these are the skills you will be learning in this 2 months of course duration, right? And next, people, those who got registered with us, registered students, you will get what, guys? What the benefits you'll get? For the registered students, daily we'll share the class notes. Every day we'll have some running notes. We'll share that running notes with you. And also we'll share all recordings. Recording classes I will share. How many months, how many years you will have the access for the recordings? 2 years you will have the access for the recordings. And also we'll have what? I'll share what? Interview question answers. I'll share what? Resumes to you. And also I'll share what? Projects, which we'll keep in your resumes. And also we'll conduct what? Mock interviews. So along with this, you'll be getting what? Credentials. If you want to practice Power Platform, then we need to have the Microsoft accounts, guys. Microsoft accounts. So if you want to purchase this license, it will be costing around maximum of 5,000 per month. So we'll provide this license for free. We'll provide this license for free. For how many months? 6 months. 6 months, you can use these licenses for practice purpose, guys, right? Minimum 6 months. More than 6 months also I'll provide, but minimum, at least I'll provide 6 months to you for practice, right? Along with this, in this people, those who got registered, as I said, that how many months you will have the access for attending the live classes? 6 months. 6 months we have the access to the live classes. Not only in one batch. If you join in 9 a.m. or 8 p.m., you are not flexible with that batch. You can shift your batch timings to 9 a.m. Guys. We have another slot at 9 a.m. So it is not mandatory in which timing you registered. So not only attend the classes in that same timing, you can attend the classes in the other batches also. That flexibility is also there. And next, coming to the job opportunities. Most of the people will have one question in mind. As we have 6 softwares here, now we need to learn all the 6 softwares to get the job. No, not required, guys. Because companies are providing different job openings here, guys. Power Apps and Power Automate, with this combination, we have the jobs. So along with Power Apps and Power Automate, we need to have any database knowledge, either SharePoint, SQL, Oracle, Dataverse, any database knowledge. I'll prefer to go with SharePoint, guys. Database knowledge means not complete database knowledge. Understanding at least what is database, what is meant by tables, what are called as columns, how to add the data, how to maintain the relationships between the tables. That's all. You don't require the in-depth knowledge of database concepts, right? So prefer to have the SharePoint knowledge, guys, along with Power Apps and Power Automate. With this combination, we'll have a lot of job openings in the market. This is one combination. Another combination is what? Power BI and SQL. This combination also will have the jobs in the market. Another combination is what? Both this, combinedly both this. Power Apps, Power Automate, Power BI, SQL, SharePoint, and Dataverse. You have all this, you have Power BI SQL and you have this knowledge, then you can opt this one also. So these are the combination of courses we'll have, or combination of jobs we'll have. So as there are 2 combinations, Power BI and SQL will have the jobs, Power Apps, Power Automate will have the jobs, right? So that's why we are providing both the courses, guys. So one curriculum 1, Power Apps, Power Automate, SharePoint, and Dataverse. These are the skills we will be learning in this curriculum 1. Who will teach you this curriculum? Myself, Venki. For how many months I'll teach you? 2 months is the duration. This is the curriculum you are joining here in today's class, guys. People, those who are looking for Power BI and SQL also, this is a different course. Who will teach you Power BI here means? Sunil Kumar is the trainer who will teach you Power BI for 2 months. Who will teach you the SQL again? Myself. Myself, I will teach the SQL for how many months? 1 month. So it is a different course, different fee. This is different course and different fee. And as we have the job openings for both, we are offering both the courses. You can opt any one or you can go with both. There are few students who are looking for both courses, so you can opt for both the courses. And next, coming to the WhatsApp community. So we have an WhatsApp community for Power Platform training, guys. So latest updates regarding Power Platform training, we'll keep in that community. So I'm keeping that community link in the chat box. You can use that community link. You can join in the WhatsApp community so that you will be getting the latest updates from about Power Platform training. If you want to get the latest updates about the Power Platform training, we can join in that community, right? Not only that, even I will share today's class recording, class notes, coming next tomorrow's class link, everything I will share in the WhatsApp also in this community. So please join in the community, guys, who haven't joined still. And also people who have any questions regarding other batch timings, and fees details, you can reach out to my team. I'm providing the front office team details also in the chat box. You can just reach out to them. So now we'll go with the questions, guys. We'll go with the questions. So now, most commonly asking question, most of the people will have this question in mind. Is there any prerequisite to learn Power Apps and Power Automate? To learn Power Apps and Power Automate, so you need to have any prerequisite? The answer is strictly no. No prerequisite to learn Power Apps and Power Automate. Anybody can learn this, guys, who are freshers, who are working in non-IT, who are coming from non-technical background, who have the career gap. Anybody can learn this because there is no prerequisite. Why there is no prerequisite means most of the work in Power Apps and Power Platform or in the Power Platform, most of the work, 60 to 70% of the work will be done. 60 to 70% of the work will be done by using some GUI options, just drag and drop. Remaining 30 to 40% of work, 30 to 40% of work will be done by using some functions. Functions means, I think most of you people are familiar with the Excel. In the Excel, how we'll have the functions like lookup function, filter function, like if condition, switch, aggregate functions like average, sum, max, min. Same type of functions we'll have here, guys, in Power Apps and Power. So here, no coding is involved. You don't require any C, Java, Python, .NET. No, zero coding. So we'll use some functions here, as most of the work will be done using just drag and drop, and remaining work will be done using some functions. So you don't require any prior coding skills or any prior knowledge in the IT to learn this technology. So anybody can learn this course to enter into the IT field, right? Fine. So I'll stop here. We'll be discussing from here in the next class tomorrow. Tomorrow the class will be at what time? Evening 8 to 9 p.m. So what we'll discuss there? Practicals. Practically, we'll start implementing at a high level how we'll go and do this 4-step business applications process. Right. Let me stop here. Now let's go to the questions, guys. Online people, now if you have any questions, please raise your hands. I'll talk to you one-on-one. Just raise your hands. Don't get confused.